some reason, the Fall 2022 test ROM updates just got uploaded and immediately deleted after. Thankfully, I was able to click on the link before it disappeared, but if you guys try to click on it now, it literally says you can't. So I am going to read you these exclusive update notes, and you can literally view them before anyone else. Welcome Wizards to Novus on Test ROM. While we have a ton of amazing content for you to explore and give us your feedback on, thank you in advance, please remember that it is Test ROM, which means that everything you see is either still in development or may need polishing of some sort. To ensure future players are not confused when watching community-recorded content on Test ROM being seen as the final version, you will see a watermark on the screen that you are on Test ROM upon logging into the game. Please help us to ensure viewers of the community content understand that Test ROM is a place for us to gather important feedback. When on Test ROM, first use the in-game bug reporting tool if you notice an issue. You can also post the Test ROM section of the forum. Please also post in the forums any balance and general considerations you wish us to see. Okay, so the first category is obviously the new world of Novus. Arc 4 continues. The world synthesizer in Lemuria was destroyed, and then almost immediately, strange shards appeared over several worlds of the spiral, connected to each other through magical gates. Together, they formed Novus, a new world, a bizarre world, a gift to the peoples of the spiral, a gift from something. The wizard must reach this place, explore it, master new forms of magic, and navigate the complex politics of the spiral's empires to preserve Novus from those who would corrupt it. What is Novus? Where did it come from? Why is it here? The answers to these questions will shake the spiral. As you explore Novus to reach the new level 160 experience cap, also be sure to check out the new Arc Mastery and School Pips on offer. Take a break from questing for a while to play as one of the new Beast Moon forms and get the shiny new event loot. Probably won't be doing that. Arc Mastery and School Pips. Early in its development and still today in early worlds, WIZARD101 was designed to allow you to include lots of different spells in your deck, including spells from other schools. But as you level up, your stats start to take you away from viable dual school builds and strongly pushes you into the direction of a single school. Power Pips are the most notable offender here. Why would you spend a power pip on an off school when it is worth 2 pips for your own school? To address this issue, we are introducing a new stat called Arc Mastery. Arc Mastery allows you to accumulate power that will automatically convert power pips into school-specific pips that you can also use to cast spells from that school. In other words, a school pip works exactly like a power pip, including allowing you to spend it like a power pip for your own school's spells, with the additional bonus that it counts as a power pip for its own schools as well. It's kind of like having a built-in mastery, but more on that later. Before combat, the first place you will want to check out is your deck. This is where dual school setups will begin. You'll find a new button there where you can preset the kind of school pip that you want to generate when you first enter combat. Decks will automatically be set to your own school until you change it. Each deck saves the setting, so if you want to build decks with a different mix of schools and different school pip settings, you can do that. During combat, once your deck is ready, you can try it out in combat. If you're high enough level to automatically have some Arc Mastery strat, level 50 and plus, or if you have at least 1 point of Arc Mastery via your gear, you'll see some additions to your combat display. On the upper right of your nameplate, you will see a power orb that fills each round. Each round that you have at least 1 power stored, one of your power pips, if any, will be converted to a school pip. School pips deduct 1 point from your power of your power orb. The power orb can hold multiple points, and if you have enough points and enough power pips, you can generate more than 1 school pip in a round. Even if you don't have any power pips, your Arc Mastery stat will be working to convert that power for you. If you have at least 3 points saved up in your power orb, and at least 1 white pip, it will automatically convert white pips into power pips as well. Power pips deduct 3 points of power from your power orb. Power pips are generated in this way after school pip conversion has completed. You'll also notice that you can click on the power orb to open a school pip selector like the one in your deck. You can use this function to change the next school pip you generate, even in the middle of combat. Don't worry, your deck will still save its own setting, so you don't have to worry about setting it back when combat ends. Power orb fills. Normal combat. In the typical PvE combat, your Arc Mastery stat relative to the other combatants will be the only factor that determines how quickly your power orb fills. The combatant with the highest Arc Mastery stat generates power the fastest. PvP and Advanced Combat. In more advanced combat, your power orb fill can be affected by 2 factors: your Arc Mastery stat and your deck fullness. In certain special combats and in PvP, your power generation is proportional to the number of spells in your deck. Your power orb will be at max efficiency if your main deck is full. If your deck is only partially full, your power orb efficiency will be reduced as well. Remember, in normal PvE combat, your deck's fullness will not affect your Arc Mastery generation. This difference is reflected in your power orb efficiency, which can be viewed in your deck by hovering over the deck Arc Mastery pip selector. School-specific pip costs. In addition to working like power pips for you, some spells require you to have and spend school-specific pips as part of their cost. In practice, this works just like shadow spells, with which you already may be familiar. If a spell card shows a cost of 3 generic pips and 1 death pip, for example, you must have at least 1 death pip and 3 more pips to spend in order to cast it. Mastery amulets. How does this work with existing mastery? Mastery amulets allow you to treat a second school as your own school for the purposes of power pips. This means that with the mastery amulet, power pips count as 2 pips for your own school, power pips count as 2 pips for your mastery school, school pips of any school count as 2 pips for your own school, and school pips of any school count as 2 pips for your mastery school. As you can see, mastery remains a powerful feature, but you may find that with enough Arc Mastery and the right deck setup, you won't need Mastery in order to cast off school spells. Dual school spells. Does this mean that a death spell could require you to have an ice pip in order to cast it? Yes, but you won't see dual school spells like this until level 150 and beyond. Blending 2 schools of magic together into a single spell isn't something that happens until, well, you'll have to play through Novus to find out. Please note that multi-schooling is optional, insofar as using other school spells or building up stats in another school. If you like the single school experience, you can continue to play as you did before. These are all of the new Beast Moon forms. I'm just going to read them off. I'm not going to read all of their things, but you have Balance Minotaur, Ice Draconian, Fire Rat Thief, Death Wolf Warrior, Myth Colossus, and that's all. I will just briefly skim over this because I'm really not into Beast Moon, but if you are, you can pause and read. There you go. And here is the new pin system, gear slots and types. A new way to support your wizard's secondary school endeavors is here. Introducing the new pin system. Pins are a new mechanic that allows a wizard to choose which secondary school stats they want on their gear. Read to find out more. New gears. For players familiar with our jewel system, pins work in much the same way. Certain hats, robes, and shoes will have slots where you can attach pins that match their type. Different gear types will have different slot variations. As more gear types roll out, you'll be able to mix and match to create your perfect setup to support your secondary school, or schools of your choice. There will be 3 types of pin slots on gear. Sword slots, which are offensive stats, shield slots, which are defensive stats, and power slots, which emphasize utility. These new pins are what you will be slotting into your pin slotted gear. Much like jewels, you'll have to attach the appropriate pin with the appropriate slot. See below for more detail on different types of pins. So this is basically what we just read right here. Sword is for like critical, pierce, damage. Shield is for resist, block, or outgoing. And power is more so for accuracy and pips. New castle magic items and spells. So many wizards have been studying castle magic and buying their castle magic supplies from Babbage Bassett that he hired an assistant, Ada Airedale. Welcome, Ada. You're going to be very busy with all of the wizards we know that will visit you. Ada sells these new castle magic items and spells happily to those who will visit her. There is a fast magic timer, magic cantrip detector, cantrip wall detector, and to make cantrip detectors more useful, magic touch doesn't cost energy when cast in a non-guild house. There is also set PvP turn order, set normal PvP, stop movement, unsilence item, camera time spells, camera top down 2 and cam top down all 2, play instrument loop 1 to 8, stop music, play music player, stop playing as a pet, allow playing as a pet, add 2 to a counter, subtract 2 from a counter, add 0 to a counter, set counter to 100, move 10 and move 25 spells. And silence an item was changed. They also fixed some bugs, which you can pause and read here if those interest you. And now we will move on to the social system updates. Guild improvements. Guilds are getting a bunch of gilded improvements. Check them out below. Your guild now has a chat channel so you can chat with your guildmates from anywhere in the spiral. The tab key cycles between chat channels. Your guild name is displayed on your name tag, under your name and badge, so other players can see which guild you're in. You can disable this feature in settings. Clicking on players in the guild roster will allow you to message them and teleport to them. The guild roster is now sorted by who is online. Online players are listed first. The guild summary and roster pages now display how many unique accounts are in the same guild and how many account slots are available for new members. Characters that are on the same account in a guild now have a special icon. The tooltip for this icon displays the names of other characters on the same account in the guild. A house tab has been added to the guild inventory. Characters with decorator permission can pick up objects and put them in the guild inventory. The guild leader has an empty trash now button on the trash tab of the guild inventory. Housing teleporters may be donated to guild inventory. Housing teleporters may only teleport to locations in the guild house. Housing music players may now be donated to the guild inventory. Players with the decorator permission can use them. Housing signs in the guild house now have several guild options. Anyone can stop housing games in a guild house. A new privacy option in settings will hide guild invites from you. When the guild leader kicks a player from the guild, all the players on the same account in the guild are kicked. If the kicked player is in the guild house, they're teleported away. There's a new message appointment type for guild meetings. Guild locks now require a number of accounts, not number of wizards to unlock. When the guild leader changes the permissions for a character, all characters on the same account in the guild get the same permission. When a character joins a guild, they inherit the permissions of another character on the same account that's also in the guild. The guild leader may change the name of the guild once a year. When a player leaves a guild or is kicked out, they can't join another guild for 2 weeks. Social kiosk changes. In addition to adventure parties, you can now find a guild to join in the social kiosk. The kiosk is in Old Town near the Cyclops Lane entrance. A very sociable location, hard to miss for those wanting adventure. Adding a guild to the kiosk. If you are the leader of a guild, you will be asked once if you would like to automatically add your guild to the social kiosk whenever you are playing. You can control if a guild is added to the kiosk with a button on the guild summary window, or from the guild page of that kiosk. Like adventure parties, guild and the social kiosk are listed by purpose. When you add a guild to the kiosk, you'll be promoted to declare a purpose. You can change the purpose of your guild by clicking on the Change Purpose button on the guild summary window. Purpose is used to help players find agreeable guilds. Guilds have the same purpose available as adventure parties. They are questing in a world, farming dungeons in a world, playing Beast Moon, playing PvP, playing Pet Derby, pet activities, housing, or just simply wanting to hang out with fellow wizards. Joining a guild in the kiosk. Open the social kiosk in a window on a gold that you would like to join. The leader of that guild will be asked to admit you as a provisional member. If the leader approves, you will be made a member of the guild for 1 week. The leader of the guild can promote you to a full member at any time. If after 1 week you are still a provisional member, you will be removed from the guild. Friend improvements. We've made a few friend features friendlier. Easier teleport, friend symbols on name tags, and new friend symbols. Bug fixes and other changes. Some of the following may have also been noted above in the main notes. Elixirs can now be placed in a player's backpack. Jewel socketing interface should now select the proper jewel. Gardening rank improperly reset from rank 13 to rank 1 on occasion. New house welcome signs and new phrases to housing signs. Added a disallow guild invites option. Added a cooldown for leaving guild and joining another. Allow guild leader to change the guild name up to once a year. Some sorting and display improvements to the guild roster. Occasional issues with being invited to a guild during the Rattlebones Exalted duel combat should now be resolved. Sparkle Globe placed can now be picked up once placed on the ground. Further improvements to the Raids Gate functionality. Magic Touch now costs 0 energy in a non-guild house. Moved does not meet league requirements notification later in the UI hierarchy, so the players can spectate appropriately leveled matches. Hunting Worm in Trifold Fever are now enabled in PvE. Fixed a persistent issue with boss rematch dungeon recall. Kathmandu Sanctuary large houses now have separate wallpaper and tiles. Beguile TC now set to no PvP. School PvP medals are now tradable. Removed critical block from Baron von Bracken. Fixed caramel spells from blaring music at the end of animation. Players can now select additional dances as victory dances. Changed Beast Moon idol reagent names to be easier to find in inventory. Various other spell, character animations, and UI tweaks. More Monstrology goodies will also be coming to the game very soon after the launch of Novus. We are very excited about getting the changes out and what's going to be a great Monstrology update. but we just can't quite get into all of this in the initial release. Please use the in-game bug reporting tool, blah, 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 blah. All right, guys, so let me know what you think about all of this. That was definitely a mouthful. There is a ton of information here, so take it all in. It's still not available, so you guys are literally getting the first look at it. Let me know what you guys think, and I can't wait to see you in test realm. Bye!